you're probably wondering what the hell is going on right here and how did we get to this point. If you're familiar with the channel and you've seen any of my other videos, this doesn't look like your typical rescue or transport beacon, but in fact this is somewhere in the middle of a very long and involved transport beacon where another citizen apparently left the cruise control on their reclaimer at the speed of just fast enough to not allow you back in. So this is the initial approach. There's already other players out here trying to help. Again, just indicative of what the Star Citizen community is really about when you get in game and get off Spectrum and Reddit and some of these toxic discords. Get in the game. I promise you, for every negative experience you have, you'll have 25 or 50 more positive ones. But anyway, so the goal here is to try to figure out how to get this guy back in his ship. And we are kind of confused on how to do it, which is really, again, if you've tuned in before, is what I love about player beacons. You really can't develop, you can't code, you can't program this type of random nonsense gameplay that nobody could foresee. I mean, I'm sure this situation has happened enough that the developers could, I don't know, figure out a mission for it, but it's just not the same. You know, beacons really are this unknown, this thing that has unknown potential. You never really know what you're going to get when you show up, and most of the time it's not shot or have your stuff stolen. So let's continue to put that to rest. For those of you who don't use beacons but just listen to people about beacons, they're wrong, and I say that as you're literally listening to me about beacons. So, but my opinion's the one that counts, right? But here we are trying to science this, how to get them back in their ship. And as you saw in the beginning, I had the extremely bright idea of trying to block the reclaimer from moving with my Drake Cutlass Red here. It's a valiant effort. Probably not my brightest moment, but you try things out and see what sticks. It's fortunate that it didn't just continue going right through me and turn this thing into a flattened soda can. But you see the objective complete there, because technically speaking, Shock has arrived at his destination that he set in the personal transport beacon menu. Just a reminder, as of the second week of 3.23 EPTU, now we're on 3.24 live, personal transport beacons were taken out for no explanation whatsoever. Nobody has received official word from CIG as to why, but this is the type of stuff you're missing out on. So even though it's complete, he blew right by the ship because he was not able to activate one of the hatches, probably aiming for the one on top. So back to picking them up and trying to figure this out, all while another player shows up to try to get up to the ship and get the elevator open, which they did actually have success with. So you'll see that in a moment. I'm watching this too after editing, and I gotta learn to do this stuff at the same time, so my words will line up with the action, but you guys can seek and all that. I have faith in you. But this is the initial plan here after, well, not the initial plan, the secondary or tertiary plan to drop them low enough, maybe have them lay prone on the ramp of the Cutlass Red and match the speed with the reclaimer so that they would be hovering right over the top hatch, just so they could activate it. But just in time for that plan to happen, we scrapped that because that other player who showed up, this Galaxy Otter 23, awesome, happened to float up to this thing and was able to hit the elevator button on a moving target in space before the new 0G transversal system came in, which is just an epic achievement if you really think about it. For any time you've ever tried to do anything in space or hit a button on the first try with these crappy servers and all of the other unoptimized nonsense we have to deal with, what a great job. This person got in the ship, and then we had to figure out, all the party nonsense. And at the end, I just took someone else who was involved, who had also left their ship, back to their own ship here. Here you can see it's finally back under control, doing a little victory twirl there. But I wanted to voice over this beacon video because obviously it needed context because it looked like a circus. And it was, but it was a fun circus, and it involved multiple people from the server who didn't previously play together. And again, and I keep reiterating it in every video I talk, like that's the spice of life for player beacon gameplay. And I know CIG has said that they're possibly in the process of reworking beacons, but NPC beacons are just not going to be the same. I really, really hope they bring back and restore the player beacon system that we've had up until 3.23.